for joining us today for Studio 512. Our friends over at the Bullock Museum are hosting a special one-night-only event with Ann Byrne. And joining us now, our museum programs manager, Leslie Little, and Cuprimo Cupcake Wrangler, Amy Clausen, who also has some bragging rights sitting here in the studio. I'm so excited to talk to her. Yo, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Lovely to have you both here. We are talking about delicious things today. So, Leslie, if you wouldn't mind, give us a brief rundown on the event you have coming up.
So the Bullock Museum is going to be hosting a cake talk with Ann Byrne on Sunday, May 17th. That's this Sunday.
Coming up.
At 2 p.m. at the Spirit Theater, the Texas Spirit Theater. And Ann Byrne is going to tell the history of cakes and the history of America through cakes. And so she's chosen 12 iconic cakes, and she's going to talk to us about their history and how that relates to America's history.
There is so much tied with America and history in just desserts. What was available to us at the time? What did we find here on the land? How have things evolved over time? So I think that that's actually going to be really interesting. And you said I was living under a rock not knowing who Ann Byrne is.
You are!
If you don't mind,
Yes.
will you just tell us a little bit about how you know her?
So she has put out so many cookbooks, but she really made it great for at-home bakers. She taught us how to go to the grocery store, buy a box cake mix, and doctor it up. So she was like, she made all of that happen for us. She published all the books. They're New York bestsellers. And you can go get it, get the cake mix, and she told you what to do and make something delicious at home.
Semi-homemade.
Yes, yep, for
But
sure.
doing something that looks absolutely fantastic
Yes.
and that your family's going to be happy with. She is a queen.
A queen.
A queen,
And
I understand.
her Substack is amazing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. I'm getting into Substack. Okay, let's talk about the book that you have here on the table. Just tell me a little bit about it.
So this is her newest book. This is Baking in the American South.
Oh, there are going to be some good recipes in there.
Yes, so you got your Texas sheet cake, your German chocolate cake, like some of our more well-known cakes here in Texas.
And my favorite fact about German chocolate cake, if everybody doesn't know this at home, is it was just a person whose last name was German.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were not necessarily of German lineage. Their last name was the
Really?
word German, and so that's how we got German chocolate.
Okay,
Yeah.
I feel like I should
one
know
thing
that.
I did know that Miss Ann Byrne and I have in common.
And her previous book was called American Cake. So she's going to do 6 from this book, and she's going to do 6 from the other book.
Okay, I bet hummingbird cake is in there too. There
Probably.
are lots of wonderful cakes in the South to play around with. Okay, she is going to do book signing, tickets. Talk to me about how that works.
So we'll have a limited amount of books available that you can purchase to have signed, or you can bring books from home to have her signed. And she
Maybe a better idea, right?
Yes,
If you guys are
yes.
on limited quantities.
Yes, so
Okay.
bring a book and she'll sign it for you.
Oh, wonderful. It sounds like a cool talk. So I'm wondering how Cuprimo got involved with this.
So we got a call and they said, will you provide the product for all the attendees? But you have to make them, not your way. You got to do them out of her books.
The Ann Byrne way.
Yeah, so we got 12 different recipes and we just taste tested them, but we did them this way. So like some of them, like you might need molasses, or strawberry shortcake is different than the way we do it at Cuprimo. So we just took them, did them, ranked them, made a hot list, sent the hot list to her, and then we have the winners are here.
So you actually have been the one who's put in all the elbow grease to
Yes.
the cakes that she's going to be talking about.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was fun because they're throwback.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Talk to me about what we've got here.
So the top 3 that are going to be at the event are gingerbread.
with cute little gingerbread men on top. How
just for fun.
precious. Yeah.
And then Texas sheet cake, which is a famous funeral cake.
a funeral. Do you know what? I didn't know that.
Okay,
I
see,
didn't know that.
I taught you something
You taught me
today.
something today.
Yes, and then strawberry shortcake, just because berries were so prevalent in baking, so it made the top 3. So all of these will be at the event, and the attendees get to taste all of them.
Oh, wonderful.
Yep.
And strawberries, I think very Texas as well, since we can't
sure.
grow them here. Yeah. And let's talk about Cuprimo, because you guys have been around for 18 years,
We
which is
have.
pretty impressive.
Yep.
You've also recently gotten a proclamation.
We did. So we got a proclamation from the city of Austin for 18 years, and they made it Cuprimo Day, which
Oh,
was fun.
That's amazing.
And then a couple weeks ago, we got to go be part of the Austin Business Journal Best Place to Work. So
Love
we're
that for
busy.
you. Yes.
Busy.
And what were the criteria to say that you are the best place to work? Because you said the gift that you got was just more business.
It is true. So they do a blind study where your employees, without knowing what they're going to put, they fill out surveys, they get talked to, you get ranked. They have all kinds of applicants, and then they compile all of it and pick the winners.
That is so
It's
cool.
fun.
And
Yeah.
you said important to you is that you pay your employees well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, they are trying to have good lives. They're highly skilled. They do hard work.
Yes.
For us, if you're a high volume place, no one's getting by easy. So we want them to have good money and fun and all the cupcakes and coffee that they
Shout
can
out
take.
to the Caprimo staffers. Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. Okay, and before we let you go, Leslie, you actually do adult programming for the Bullock Museum. Is there anything else we can look forward to coming up?
Yes, so Music Under the Star will be every Friday in June, and it will be a free concert series out in the amphitheater in front of the museum. And we have some adult workshops that are also coming up, and they will be like broom making and things where you can learn and do a hands-on activity.
And always has a Texas tie back. I love that. Okay, guys, thank you both so much for your time
Thank
today.
you.
And congratulations.
Well, thanks.
All right. Don't miss out on this special event with Ann Byrne, May 17th, as you heard, coming up this weekend. Get more information at thestoryoftexas.com. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Rosedale Acupuncture and Wellness. We're talking about treating chronic pain in a holistic way today with Dr. Lucas Brown of Rosedale Acupuncture and Wellness. Specifically, we're discussing fibromyalgia. Dr. Brown, talk to me about the symptoms that someone might come into you with of fibromyalgia.
Sure. If fibromyalgia is a chronic pain where the body's pain receptors are cranked up on high, and it can be debilitating, not only the pain, but also a lot of fatigue that comes with it, or brain fog. And it can often be cyclical where you have flare-ups, but when those flare-ups hit, you're pretty much bedridden in some cases.
And we have one of your patients that we're going to hear from today. It's Katie. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
Before coming to Rosedale, my daily life was very, very limited. I had limited mobility due to hypermobility and joint pain, as well as fibromyalgia. I was in bed pretty much most of the time for about a month or so prior to coming. It took away all my mobility. I had done physical therapy. I had done a steroid injection even. I felt that this practice had the type of methods and expertise and knowledge to really just treat the whole issue, holistically. My pain level before was usually between 8 and 10, and now it's 1 or 0. I've gone from not being able to sit for any length of time without pain to, going back to the movie theater, being able to drive longer, and being able to go to a restaurant. Even though things do take time, healing is kind of always happening, and it is always possible. I'm just relieved that it worked, that it helped.
Dr. Brown, how does it feel to hear Katie's testimonial there?
I mean, truly, I think she's a prime example of someone who maybe not quite given up hope, but it really impacted her life, and we're able to give her back her life, so to speak. And I love that, because I do think with these kind of conditions, it's so easy just to give up hope and think there's nothing that can be done. But it is definitely an individualized treatment, and we're treating the individual in front of us, not just the symptoms.
So if someone is watching today, maybe they've been on this chronic pain journey and they're ready to find some hope again, how can they get started with you?
Yeah, so just come have a conversation with me. We'll do a little detective work, see what's going on, and if I feel like I can help you, I'll give you my best recommendation.
I appreciate a man who knows what he's doing.
Absolutely.
Dr. Brown,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Set up a complimentary consultation today by calling 512-623-1996 or by going to rosedaleacuwell.com. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Rosedale Acupuncture and Wellness. It is time for a Radiance Report, and today we're happy to be supporting local with a look at skincare brand early. Here to tell us more about it are co-founders Dr. Hallie McDonald and Jamie Chanley. Y'all, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to you both. Okay, this is kind of a dual story here. We're going to start with you, Dr. McDonald. Talk to us about how you got into early, how skincare became the thing that you guys wanted to do.
Yeah, well, it started as a shared mission to really simplify skincare. My background is medical. I'm a dermatologist. And I've been noticing over the past couple of years that my patients of all ages have been coming into my office with crazy, overcomplicated skincare routines.
The 30-stepper.
The 30-stepper, they're using multiple actives, they're layering things that are inappropriate for their skin, and they're ending up in my office wondering why they have rashes and contact dermatitis. Oh, yes. Jamie too. Jamie was a victim of the 10-step routine. And so we really wanted to set out to create something that was simplified and approachable.
That's wonderful. And Jamie, formerly of Rankin Style, so we've had you on the show before.
Yes.
You know how to run a successful business, sister, I'll tell you that.
Oh, you're sweet.
But it's actually the two of you, your daughters, that gave this skincare line its name.
That's right. My daughter Emerson and Hallie's daughter Lyle are best friends. They think they're the CEOs, and that's why we named it Early. And it really was, they inspired this because they were just as guilty of using the 10-step routines at 10 years old, right?
Well, and I was going to say they got a lot of influence to do
lot.
that.
It's really hard.
It's out there right now.
It is.
For sure.
It's a real issue.
Okay, let's talk about y'all's skincare philosophy and what separates you from other brands. Jamie?
Yeah, I mean, skincare is certainly crowded. I think we really do believe and preach that doing less does more. And less truly is more in skincare, right? Like going back to the 10-step routine that you do not need. Also being derm-founded, hypoallergenic, fragrance-free, and truly safe for all ages and stages is something that isn't really out there, and that's kind of the white space we've been operating in.
That's another really good point, is that these kids who are on the younger side have started using, for example, actives.
Yes.
They don't need them yet.
Correct.
We want to be gentle on their young skin. So can you touch on that a little bit for me?
For sure. And I think there was a lot of misinformation out there. So these young people are being influenced mainly by social media, their friends, all that type of thing. And they're buying products that aren't necessarily designed for their age or for their skin type. And so we wanted to create something that was beautiful and accessible and something that they would want to keep on their bathroom counter and feel proud to use.
Brag about you having, brag about using,
Yes.
but it's still really good for them.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so we have a couple of products we're going to talk through today. Dr. McDonald, if you want to start with the first one.
Sure. Let's start with our Daily Dew. This one is a great serum that gives the skin a really pearly glow, but it also has some safe actives. It has niacinamide and fluoretin, so it acts as a gentle antioxidant and also fights hyperpigmentation.
Okay, hyperpigmentation, big one for me. I don't know about anybody else, but melasma during the summer, you start to get those dark spots. That's a big one.
Yes, Daily Dew is for you.
Daily. It's got a good tagline too.
Totally.
All right, Jamie, what about the next one?
I would say our face foam, it's a gentle foaming cleanser.
I'm obsessed with the packaging.
And you don't have to double cleanse with this product, which is a big thing as well, right?
Yeah,
Saves
'cause
you
I do.
time, one and done, gets all your makeup off, but won't strip your barrier at the same time.
I am very impressed by a product like that because that's what I have to do is you have to take it all off first. Yes, twice, and then do the wash
Yes,
afterwards.
that one's gonna change your life.
This is going to change my life. Good to know. Okay, a final product from you, Dr. McDonald?
Well, we do love multitasking products. Again, we want to be simple and streamlined and efficient. And so I would say our moisturizer with SPF, it's early start is what we call it. It has a mineral-based SPF, so it's safe for all ages and skin types, but it also has peptides in it. And peptides are a really great retinol alternative to stimulate collagen and elastin in the skin in a very gentle way.
Okay, and the fact that it's safe for all ages.
Yes.
Of course, you know I'm big on skincare in Texas. We always have to have that SPF. It doesn't matter what day of the year you're walking out of the door. The sun is still intense enough that we need 30 plus. All right, let's talk about tips and tricks for getting the most out of your skincare routine. Can you help us?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I do love a multitasking product, and so our whole line is designed to be so simple. Always wash your face before bedtime and never, ever, ever skip your SPF. even on days when it's cloudy or rainy.
I knew you were going to say
know.
With a dermatologist in the house, I feel like it backs up the little soapbox I get on.
Totally.
Thank you for that,
Yeah.
Dr. McDonald. Okay, and Jamie, any other notes that you want people to know about your skincare brand and where we can shop with you?
Yes, so just a few weeks ago we launched on Ulta.com and in nearly 800 Ulta stores
Very
nationwide.
exciting.
Yeah, so we're very excited. You can find us at 2 stores here in Austin. We are also in Tarrytown Pharmacy in St. Bernard. You can certainly shop us on our website as well.
Okay, sounds good to me. And if someone was thinking, okay, I only have a couple of dollars spare, I need to just get started with the products, what
Yep.
would you say? Okay,
Well, Hallie would say the sunscreen.
she would say the sunscreen, the dermatologist would.
I would say our face wash or the night cream.
Okay,
Yeah.
this face wash, I'm telling you what, I'm so excited to try it. It's a
Yes.
really cool concept, y'all, and I think it's great that
you.
it's safe for all ages. Congratulations to you and your CEOs, your daughters.
Oh, yeah, totally. Don't love that.
We appreciate your time today.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you. Shop this Austin-based skincare brand now at those Ultas that you heard mentioned or at itsearly.com.
Hey everyone, I'm at Burger Stadium down south where our women's tackle football team, the Austin Outlaws, play their first game of the season. Tonight they're playing against Oklahoma City. And I'm here to cheer them on, getting exclusive footage of the game, and we're gonna talk to the team. Let's go get our seats. The Austin Outlaws take on the Oklahoma City Force for their first game of the season.
The rookie class is amazing. They're playing both sides of the ball. They are learning the sport. They are supporting each other. They are putting in the physical effort. They are doing all kinds of stuff that we haven't seen a rookie class do.
They're doing everything right. When we tell them to do something, we have them playing 3, 4, 5 different positions tonight.
They're killing it. They look great.
We start playing our games April, May. We actually start in the fall, and so we're practicing with each other 2-3 times a week, all the way until now. So, we spend so much time together. We become like sisters.
We're over there cheering as coaches. We've been doing this for years, and we're over there in awe and cheering them on.
I know from my experience that once we get to the season and we get past that first game, it goes by so quick. So I'm looking forward to just kind of savoring these moments that we have on the field together.
Time to get back to work. They were close tonight. There were a couple long runs that we gave up on defense, but it's stuff that can be fixed.
Carry number 7, running back Tamara Sweet.
Any Austinites who, want something fun to do on a Saturday night, it's a great place to bring your families, your kids, get outside and see some football.
You're missing it. You're missing some amazing female athletes.
This is pure football.
Get tickets to the next home game and support our female athletes. Go Outlaws!
Welcome back, everybody. Trash Free Gulf, a program by the Gulf Trust, is doing their part to make Texas cleaner and to protect Lone Star waterways. Joining us now is the Gulf Trust Executive Director, Jay Clayberg. Jay, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, tell us about the Gulf Trust and what it is. This is actually a family affair.
And to some degree, yes, we're a coastal and marine conservation organization, and we partner with groups like Hart Research Institute for Gulf Studies and Texas Parks and Wildlife Foundation to help the marine environment, not just in Texas, but around the Gulf.
Around the Gulf. And your wife is actually over in Galveston right now?
She's headed to Galveston later this week, yes, for cleanup. So we've got a Trash Free Gulf campaign that's statewide, that's focused on cleaning up our waterways, because every river in the state runs to the Gulf. And so we've got 60 cleanups this month, and she's going to head to Galveston, and I'll be here holding down the fort with a few cleanups in Austin.
Well, talk to me, because you guys have actually walked the entire coastline, right?
We did. Back in October of 23, over a 20-day period, we walked a 370-mile coastline for a documentary series. But along the way, what we found was it's ecologically diverse. We've got 15,000 species unique to the Gulf.
Wow.
And we have a lot of debris that washes up on our shoreline. And we really wanted to make sure that what we were finding, which were turtle bites in plastic bottles and fish bites in trash, that we were doing something about it. And so with the Gulf Trust and HEB and Keep Texas Beautiful and a bunch of organizations started this trash cleanup movement last year. This is our second year.
We're going to talk about the cleanup more in just a second, but how painful was it to see, you know, that turtles had tried to eat water bottles or like, you know, kind of the outflow of what people stopped thinking about?
So we have the smallest and most endangered sea turtle in the world nests on Texas beaches.
I didn't know that.
We didn't know this going into it. And as you're walking down the beach, you see things like plastic bags and plastic bottles, and you see bites in them, little like triangular pyramid-shaped bites. And we had a scientist tell us that those are either triggerfish or turtles. Once you see that, you cannot unsee that, and you realize that what they see is prey. It looks like a jellyfish.
Oh, wow.
And so it's really, one, you're seeing those things, but also plastic doesn't leave the environment. Yeah. It's there forever, and it just breaks down into smaller pieces. And so when you start looking in the tide line on the beach, you see organic material, sticks and wood and things like that, and sargassum. But then you also see colored pieces, blue and red and white, and you realize that's trash that's likely either come from another part of the world or another Gulf state, or it's come from Texas. And so we have this idea that you don't want to mess with Texas. Well, we don't want to mess with Texas beaches or contribute, poorly to our connection to the Gulf. And so that was the impetus for the campaign.
A really good reminder that when it leaves your site, it doesn't really go away.
That's right.
You need to do something about it. So let's talk about these cleanups.
Yeah, so we've got 60 cleanups all across the state, El Paso to Midland to Port Arthur in Austin and all the way down to Padre Island. And we've partnered up with cleanup groups. We're attempting to collect 40,000 pounds of trash before it ever enters the Gulf. In Austin, we've got Boggy Creek Greenbelt. We have Austin Parks Foundation that's hosting that. And then Colorado River Alliance is also doing a really fun cleanup with stand-up paddle boards at Mozart's at Lake Austin. And the idea is we're not going to prevent everything from reaching the Gulf, but if we can get people to think about the fact that they live in a watershed, every one of us does, that it flows ultimately to the ocean, and that anything that, as you said, is left on the ground will likely end up in that waterway, a creek or a river, and flow ultimately to the Gulf. And that impacts not just turtles and other sea life, but it's also our seafood. It's all the industry that needs water. It's people that need water along the coast. And so really trying to get people aware of this environmental issue.
Okay, so we want to talk about what people can do here locally, because I have a feeling we're motivating some folks this
I hope
morning.
so. Yeah.
Get up off your seat and see what you can do to help out the Texas coast.
Yeah.
How can people get plugged in?
So the easiest thing to do is to go to trashfreegulf.com, and there you'll find cleanups by date and by location. We have at least 3 cleanups here in Austin, as I mentioned. We've got cleanups in the area. There are other cleanups happening during the weekend throughout the month of May, so there's still time. And it's an opportunity to get together with folks. The Colorado River Alliance, the Mozart's cleanup at Lake Austin, that'll be especially fun because they have music and they have stand-up paddle boards, and it's a larger cleanup than some of the others that hopefully will have about 100 people there. And then Austin Parks Foundation has just been a great partner, and so they have 2 on the website, and then also Colorado River Alliance has theirs as well.
So do we need to know anything if we want to help out? Can we just show up with a pair of gloves, or
literally
what do we do?
just show up? And what we've done is we provided, we or the cleanups have gloves, they have grabbers, we have vests and bags, and you don't think about what you need for all the different supplies, but it's a few things. And then we have some incentives. So we partnered with a group called Yogi Bins, and they have these all-weather trash bins that go in the back of your pickup, so you have to have a pickup. Right now, they lock in. We're giving those away. HEB has some gift cards that we're giving away, and so we have some additional incentives. But the great thing is, I think we think about the environmental challenges that we have, and it sometimes seems insurmountable that my one action can't really have an impact. This can have an impact. It is a single action, but you're part of a larger movement. And that's really what we're trying to get people to think, is just picking up that bottle that's on the ground, even if it's not during a cleanup, that will have long-term impacts on the environment and the place that we call home.
Such a good piece of information.
Yeah.
Really good reminders today.
Absolutely.
Jay, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, to get involved and to learn more, visit trashfreegulf.com. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Georgetown Interstate Transmission. Georgetown Interstate Transmission and Auto Repair is a family-owned and operated business that wants to help you get back on the road. Here to tell us more today are Brandon, Matt, Ian, Joe Bob, and Ashley. Brandon, my first question is coming to you. A common misconception that people have is that in order to get service for their vehicle, they have to go to the dealership. Tell me about that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That is the big misconception that we do have here, is that we don't have the right tools or the equipment to work on those vehicles, and we actually do. We provide all the main equipment that is required to program or even diagnose most vehicles, including European vehicles like Porsche or even Mercedes, some of the big ones that a lot of folks don't understand, that they can go to smaller shops like us and still get that same service with same-day turnaround time as long as parts are available.
Okay, Matt, my next question for you. How is your diagnostic process so effective?
We have a great team here, lots of good skill sets. For instance, Ian's our diesel tech, does a great job. I like personally dealing in some advanced diagnostics and stuff like that, and we have great diagnostic equipment. So a combination between that and a good multi-point, we can tell you exactly what's wrong with your car and kind of give you a good overview of what all your car needs.
Ian, we're coming to you. Are there any specialty services that you offer that other shops may not?
Yeah, so we do have a few specialties, one of them being European cars, but we definitely like to do the diesel work. Diesel is definitely a specialty that we do excel in here. It makes it a specialty just because diesels operate on a different set of principles than normal gasoline cars do. You also have to have the tooling for it. When we do like big diesel trucks, we need to have big equipment to service these vehicles properly, and the special tools that are involved are very expensive, and not every shop is willing to put that investment into those types of diagnoses. So here at Georgetown Interstate, we are definitely not afraid of touching all that stuff. So.
Joe Bob, you're the head of this operation. What's one thing drivers can do right now to avoid costly repairs?
Well, the thing about it is with the check engine lights, people need to be concerned about a light that comes on. If a light comes on, you need to bring it in, have it taken a look at.
Ashley, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about your family-run business.
Yes, so my dad started this business when I was 2. I'm his oldest daughter, so my sisters and I basically grew up in the shop when we were little. We spent a lot of summers here when we were out of school. And now that we've got a 3rd generation, he's got grandkids now. My hope is to continue raising them up in the shop the same way we did. And when you go to a family-owned business, they treat you like family. And that's how all my team here, from my technicians all the way to the guys at the front, they take care of people. They find what's wrong with their car. They do the small things that go a long way.
I appreciate your time today, guys. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To schedule a service, call the number on your screen or visit GeorgetownAutoRepair.com.
I'm Leighton with Georgetown Interstate, and you're watching Studio 512.
The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Georgetown Interstate Transmission. Welcome back, everybody. Birdhouse Books and Gifts is a locally owned store, and owner Abby Strite, along with May, the in-house pup, has brought in some new reads perfect for summer. Abby, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. And Birdhouse Books and Gifts has not been around all that long, but you guys are already getting big accolades.
Thank you. We have just hit a year and a half, and we're so excited to have been nominated for the Austin Chronicles Best of Austin Best Bookstore. And we feel really honored and proud of sort of the community that we've built around the store in the last year and a half and how quickly that's happened.
And this is, I want to say, the second time you've been nominated. So even in year one, it happened.
Yes, we were nominated in year one, and I thought this is really cool, and that was kind of the extent of it. And with another year of business ownership under my belt and of community building, I just feel even more proud and honored to be able to share with this community that we've built that we, that we exist and that we're serving, sort of diverse representation in books for kids, for adults, for everybody in Austin.
That is so cool. All right. I asked you for a couple of summer reading suggestions. You delivered on all age groups, which I think is really amazing. Let's talk adults first. Give me the lowdown on this first book.
Absolutely. So this is Neon Gods by Katie Robert. Katie Robert writes many sort of dark fantasy, a lot of sort of LGBTQ representation, and they are also going to be coming to Austin. We'll be hosting them on June 5th.
Okay.
And that's going to be a big offsite at the church at Highland Park, and tickets are on sale for that now. So they'll be talking about the 10th book in this series,
wow,
which is called Shattered Gods, so it's a good time to get started on this series now.
So you can catch up by the time Katie
Exactly.
arrives. Okay, all right. Superfan, tell me about this.
Superfan is by our local friend, Jenny Tinghui Shang. This is amazing. It is a dark psychological literary thriller. It takes place in the K-pop world, and it's sort of about obsession, and it's, I don't want to give myself away, very relatable around fandoms and the ways that people get caught up in fandoms and sort of the danger inherent in that. It's wonderful, and all our copies are signed.
Oh, and I feel like it's so on message for right now with K-pop being so popular. This feels like a very top of mind type story.
100%.
Okay, interesting. You've got a middle grade reader.
Yes.
Talk to me about this one.
I think that middle grade is so often forgotten about. When we say middle grade, it's kind of an industry term. We really mean 3rd to 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of moving into young adult. We're past picture books. We're past early readers. This book is by Rebecca Bentheim, who is also one of our local authors in Austin. This is Rebecca's debut.
Oh, wow.
It's beautiful, and it is a wonderful coming of age and coming out story of a young girl she's moving across the country. She's moving to Rhode Island. It's got French drama, theater kid drama, a lot of internal struggle, and it's also a wonderful story of Jewish American queerness wrapped around, this sort of universal feeling of feeling alone when you're in 8th grade.
I was going to say the 3rd through 8th grade group that you mentioned, I know is where a lot of reading falls off.
Right.
Because you keep kids engaged when they're young, but then when other things like, your attention starts to go elsewhere because you're flirting with somebody, or the grades start getting more intense, that sort of thing, I can see why reading would become a little less important. So it's really cool that somebody is writing specifically for this age group.
And you know what? A lot of great authors are writing for that age group. And we have, I probably can't prove it at this moment, but I think we have the biggest middle grade section in town. It's a whole wall. We have tons of graphic novels. It's my favorite age group. That's the age group of my kids.
Oh, okay.
So when people come in, sometimes my kids are there and they'll say, oh, I've got you, come on over.
I love that. Okay, let's talk about stuff for kids. Otis knows how to be a bear.
Otis does know how to be a bear. Liz Garten-Scanlon, another local Austin children's author. This is it's a nonfiction, but it's wrapped up in a beautiful story about how bears hibernate. And so you're learning as you're going through the story, because Otis, he might forget how to be a bear when he comes out of hibernation. Does he still know how to fish? Does he still know what he needs to do to get to the next winter and to get through the next winter? And inevitably, I don't want to give anything away, but he does know how to be a bear. And sort of the message that is, in the undercurrent there is, you're perfect.
As you are.
Just as you are, and you know how to be you better than anybody else.
Oh, I like that a lot. And then we're going to have this author on the show just on Thursday, I think, Sarah Welch.
Yes, Sarah Welch, a wonderful friend of the store. How to Fill Your Hug Bank. I am obsessed with this book. We talk about social emotional learning through children's stories. It rhymes. The illustrations are beautiful. I'm going to let Sarah talk more about it with you tomorrow, but it's beautiful because it talks about the different ways that we can give hugs. We think about one single, action that we take, and it celebrates diversity. It celebrates all abilities, and it also rhymes, which kids just love. Sure. And Sarah will be signing copies of this at the store and reading the book this Sunday at 11 a.m.
Wonderful. And you do have other upcoming book signings and things like that going on. You have a very active store.
We do. In fact, last night, Maymay and I are tired. Last night we did an authorless event, but it was the Dungeon Crawler Carl book 8 in the series came out today, and we did a midnight release party.
Fun.
Which was great. So these types
I actually hear great things about Dungeon Crawler.
I love it.
Yeah.
And that's why I did the party. I thought that I didn't want to stay up very late for anything. And then I said, but I would go to that party. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm going to throw that party.
I think it's great. And any book clubs or anything like that people can get plugged into in our last minute.
Absolutely. So Led by Me is my local author book club. You notice a big emphasis on local authors. Certainly we have all categories and all types of authors. But a great thing about our local author book club, and Superfan was recently featured, is that the author always comes.
Oh, neat.
So we get to talk to each other, we talk to the author, and the author signs the book, and we take a photo together.
Well, and you get the opportunity to say, your real questions, instead of just having like that book club back and forth where it's like, and we don't know what
we
the
don't
author
know why
he intended. Yeah.
And sometimes it's nerve-wracking because you might say, like, why did you make this decision? And they'll say, I didn't.
Oh,
and
publisher.
No, more around like storycraft and things like that. They might say, I love that you got that from my story. It wasn't intentional, but I love that you got that, which is cool.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right, we got to leave it there. Thank
Absolutely.
you so much. Great job, Maymay. Okay, shop everything you heard about today and other available books online at birdhousebooksatx.com.
Content segments during Studio 512 were paid for by Rosedale Acupuncture and Wellness.